Woohoo! We turned 2 years old today with the tagline. Let's celebrate the same way that any other normal person would. Let's talk about Russia. Woo! Welcome to the tagline. We are the Cinefanatics. My name's Robert Adams.
I'm Chris Adams.
And for the record, I'm not really wanting to sit here and talk about Russia because, but it is kind of in the news right now, and we do talk about movie news. But hey, it's our 2-year anniversary. Hey, happy birthday to us. You know what that means? They're singing happy birthday. Oh, yeah. Happy birthday to the tagline. That's right. Just 2 small years ago, back before we knew exactly what this world was turning into, we had the idea of, hey, let's start a live stream show where we just get to share our thoughts, feelings, and opinions about movie news. And here we are 2 years later. Yay.
Sharing thoughts, feelings, and opinions about movie news and Russia.
And Russia, apparently. I really don't want to get into politics at all. Ever. It's just, it's not something I stay up on, and therefore
General disinterest.
Do what?
General disinterest.
It's not like I don't wake up first thing in the morning and be like, ooh, I wonder what's happening in the news today. Let's read up on the politics and the economy and what's going on. The world. No, I wake up and I'm like, ooh, that's right. We get to go see that Batman movie tomorrow, regardless of what everyone thinks of my opinion on this so far, because I know I haven't been fully ecstatic about it, but the reviews for the Batman have been coming out already, and they're all fantastic. So I am eager to see this movie now. Also because I stopped watching the trailers, so that helps definitely.
Let me see those trailers so much.
Yeah. Looking in the chat, we see Garth McMurray saying happy 2-year anniversary. Thank you, Garth. We got Tyler saying hi. Brendan saying hello there. Jeremy Miller. Hey, guys. Happy 2 years. Thank you, sir. Woo. Thank y'all for all that. As always, y'all know how this is. We're doing a live stream show, which means we got to take a second to plug Streamlabs.com. Everything starts with the word stream. That is really confusing.
We've been doing the show for 2 years. Come on, get it together.
Streamlabs.com/Cinefanatics. You got questions, comments, issues, problems, want to wish us a happy birthday, right there. That's a good one. In fact, every time that we get a donation on there tonight, you will be blessed with the very, very pleasant sounding "They're singing happy birthday." And then it will be stuck in your head for the rest of the night like it is in ours.
I like this. Every donation we get will be entered for a chance to continue watching the show.
Everyone's a winner here.
Everyone's a winner.
God, I have not drank any water today. This is one of those moments. Y'all ever get the moment where you take a sip of water and you're like, that's the greatest thing I've ever had. So good.
I think Garth has had that experience a couple times recently.
Oh, God. Every once in a while, just water is just so good. Also, patreon.com/Cinefanatics. Hit up the Patreon. Jump on the tier that is good for you. Starting this month, we are in March already. We've got a movie watch-along coming and movie trivia hangout coming down the pike. So we will be notifying y'all of that pretty soon. I don't know what a pike is. I just know that's a phrase.
It's not the pike. The pike is the syndicate that Boba Fett destroyed.
Yeah.
I believe the word you're looking for is pipe.
No, it's not pipe. The actual way that phrase goes is coming down the pike.
It can be both.
It's not both. It's people who didn't know what a pike was started saying pipe because they know what a pipe is. But yeah. Pike is the correct term.
But, and this is just to avoid talking about Russia at all tonight, can it not still make sense with pipe? Let's be honest. The hell was that?
I got an ice cube. I had to spit the ice cube back into the water.
Oh God. Some spitting going on this show, guys. This is the kind of show you're in for.
I mean, we are 2 years old here, so Is that what it is, Garth? It's a road?
Spitting up.
Yeah, just spit it out. Let's go.
I don't know.
So yeah, we could probably talk a little bit more about our 2-year birthday throughout this show. I do want to plug coming up pretty soon. Today is Wednesday the 2nd. Oh, excuse me. Tomorrow we will be enjoying The Batman. Which means we will probably have our like real quick, maybe like a 2-minute immediately out of the movie theater thoughts up on the channel tomorrow evening. So if you want to know our initial non-spoiler thoughts, check that out. We'll try not to spoil it, and if we do, we'll just blur it out like we did with the Spider-Man one. But yeah, we'll probably do the spoiler-free thoughts, about 2 minutes long. It'll be up on the channel. It'll be up on Twitter. And then I'm not sure if we want to do a separate video talking about the spoilers of it, or if we just want to wait till Tagline next week to talk about spoilers.
To be determined.
Yeah. We may make a decision on this over the next couple of days. Just depends on how schedules go and how much more he's going to be twitching for the rest of his life.
For the rest of my life.
For the rest of your life, yeah. But otherwise, that's what we're doing tomorrow in preparation for this Saturday. This Saturday will be the marquee, and we are going to be tier ranking all the theatrically released Batman movies with our special guests, returning favorite, Miss Tori Rose, and also joining us would be the ghost, Andres Gallego. There you go. Also, notice the nice new font on the word "the marquee." It has been changed.
He really wants y'all to notice that. He really wants you to notice it.
Yeah, I'm really happy for it. It looks good. So, anyways, that is going to be this Saturday, the 5th, 7:30 Pacific, 10:30 Eastern, right here live. Come join us in the chat. Give us your thoughts, feelings, and opinions on Batman movies, where you think they should go. If you want to share with us why you think Batman and Robin is S tier, you're more than welcome to do that. I don't know if anyone's going to listen, but you're free to do that. That's the way.
Promise you, it's not going to be there.
I'm not putting it in S tier. Not at all. No. I want people to come back and continue watching our channel. Not like, yeah, those guys are great, except for that take on Batman and Robin being S tier.
Well, you mad that you don't have the Bat credit card?
Yeah, forever. Its expiration date is forever. That was so stupid.
It's always expired? That doesn't make any sense.
Yeah. The idiom meaning soon to happen was originally coming down the pike. In coming down the pike, the noun pike is short for turnpike, which is a broad road, sometimes a toll road. Okay. That makes sense then.
See, I feel like context clues gave me that. I knew Garth was going to say, okay, highlight his comment.
Yeah. Okay, so let's explain this. We can explain this real quick. Yes, this version of the marquee is referred to as Tears to Astonish. It is a play off of the title Tales to Astonish, which was a comic book in Marvel. We are naming it that because we just want one title to encompass all comic book movie related tier rankings on the marquee. So whether it's Marvel, DC, whatever, Dark Horse, Image, I don't know. It's all gonna fall under the Tears to Astonish marquee banner. So
mostly because we're not gonna sit here and make up 30 different titles for 30 different comic book properties when we tier rank them. So just like Tears for Fears will always be the name for any horror movie rankings of any sort.
And if we also rank the songs from Tears for Fears, it'll probably be that one also. But or direct tiers if we're doing directors, which we were going to, and then we stopped and we haven't. And I did think of one. There is going to be a director who we're going to be tier ranking pretty soon, probably this year. And I already have it planned. Just need a release date of when the movie comes out.
One who isn't PTA?
One who isn't PTA, yeah.
Promise that one's coming. I swear.
Yeah, we'll do a PTA one because I've already seen all of PTA movies. I didn't watch all of PTA's movies for nothing, so I've watched all of those. I know Maxwell was eager to do that with us, so
He still is.
we will be doing those. Bat Marquee. I don't. Yeah, but here's the thing with that is after we're done doing this Batman one, that's about it. We're probably not really going to be talking about movies focused on Batman for a long time.
You can always go back and tier rank his actual costumes. All right, we're going to tier rank the movies again, but based on his costume.
Yeah. Or we'll
Bat nipples, S tier.
Or we'll tier rank all the Commissioner Gordons or Alfred. I guess. Maybe. If anyone finds that interesting. No, the director who I'm eager to do this year is going to be Kevin Smith.
Phrasing.
Yeah. So when was it Clerks 3 comes out, we'll probably do a tier ranking of Kevin Smith movies. And I think I know the perfect person to join us for that.
Kevin Smith.
Yeah. Let's just reach out to Kevin Smith and have Kevin Smith tier rank his own movies.
Can you imagine him tier ranking his own movies for a second? Like, just all my movies are the S tier, man.
I mean, I don't even know when this is going to happen. Like I said, it's going to probably coincide around when Clerks 3 comes out. I can guarantee you right off the bat, though, Clerks 1, the original Clerks, is S tier. None of the rest of them would be possible without that. So
you're such a tease.
I know.
It's going to happen this year, guys. Who knows when?
Yeah. Anyways, that's what we got for shows coming up. So again, Batman spoiler-free, like 2-minute review should be up tomorrow night. And then, yeah, it's a name that sounds like Michelle Smilverstrini. And then we've got Marquee this weekend, and then we'll do something talking about spoilers. What do y'all, those of y'all in the chat, we got a lot of like the people that are like constantly watching us, our loyal royal followers here. What do y'all want to see? Do you want to see us talk about Batman spoilers next week, or do you want to see it like its own like separate video? Let us know your thoughts. Y'all can have a say on this too. We will take those into consideration. Chris, over the past week, how have you been doing?
Been okay.
How's twitching going?
Twitching's going pretty all right. I've been enjoying it, having fun with everybody. Been playing that Pokemon Legends Arceus and doing the thing.
I see you actually played against. You actually had to fight Arceus a couple of days ago.
Yes, we finally reached the namesake of the game, which you could only fight once you've caught every other Pokemon in the game. So there you go. We've been spending some time on that. That's what happened. But other than that, just the usual. Just the usual. The usual. It's just the usual. Like some days we got pain, and then other days we just playing the game.
Well, that sounds delightful. It is fun having your thing up. What was it the past couple of days you've been doing this? Was it this website that Tori showed you where
yes,
you just like make up people's Pokemons?
Literally, it's this fake Pokemon generator where you put in a type. You just choose whatever type, and then you go generate it for me, and it'll just give you a random blob of something, and it's going to call it a fake Pokemon, which none of them look like Pokemon whatsoever.
They don't look like anything.
They all look like a random mishmash of creature body parts, and maybe some of them have faces, but it's been fun
with no outlines, no definition to them at all.
Maybe some of them have 3 different arms and/or legs
and/or nose and
different spots.
It's been fun. Yeah. Anyways, it looks like it's been a lot of fun. So a lot more people have been tuning into your channel, so it's getting bigger and better every day. So if y'all haven't been checking that out, make sure y'all go check that out. It is twitch.tv/ChrisAdamsMLP.
CG was legit though.
The what?
CG. Watch the stream.
Oh, okay.
The one that we nicknamed CG.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Now I remember. Yeah, that one was kind of funny looking. I don't know what the King Kong burn was.
Scroll up.
Yeah, no, I see it. I don't know what that means. I don't get if it's a royal pain in the ass like King Kong. Okay.
Nice. Nerd, you confused him, which is not difficult to do.
Well, I mean, I don't know, I guess the reference. There's a reference in there that I don't know. I know who King Kong is.
He wears the crown. He's like
Yeah.
a royal.
I know who that is. Did he do something where he was a pain in the ass somewhere? Or?
Yeah, he was a part of the Finstock Exchange.
Oh, okay. You're just saying like just the general, not okay, got it. I thought like he actually like went out of his way, not the fact that he was a part of the Finstock Exchange, but like he got a hot dog or a taco and didn't like it and threw it at a person. This was put on video and I didn't see it or something like that. I don't know.
So how are you doing this last week?
Man, it is getting frustrating. You know how like mind-numbing it is listening to people complaining about their cable service every single day. And what makes it bad, and those of y'all that are watching, I don't like talking about this that much, especially on Cinefanatics, because we're talking about movies, not stuff like this. But this is something that's been on my mind recently. I kind of want to do going back into vlogging and stuff. And one of the things I want to tackle is subjects like this, just pointing out stuff that people just don't realize. It really was such a difficult concept. Thanks for clarifying, Nerd. We appreciate it. The people are calling about their cable internet, whatever service, and they're talking like no one else has ever had this problem that they have. And I'm like, I already know what your issue is. I know how to fix it. And they just want to go on and on and on and on and complain. And like, I get complaining. I get it. Absolutely. I've done it myself. But I don't know. This needs a lot more in-depth detail than I'm willing to give right now. So that's why I say I kind of want to like go back into vlogging and everything. So I'm thinking I might do it something like that. Chris is missing half his hair. That's great.
I ditched it. Said, deuces, get out of here. We don't need you anymore.
I was actually going to go and get a haircut today too, but nope, didn't have time or opportunity. So now we get Grizzly Adams.
Time or opportunity.
And I know Garth is going to be in the chat telling me he's more of a Grizzly Adams than someone whose name is Adams. But yeah, he's right. But I mean, still.
Gulp.
I'm almost out of water. This is so good. Otherwise, what was it? Watching you put the wig on. No.
Yeah, whole show with the wig on. Let's go. We didn't set anything up for the 2-year anniversary of the tagline. You got to put the wig on. There's our 2-year special.
So here's the thing: the reason why we don't have like a big to do about it being the 2 is that it's just 2. Like, I don't think it's that special. It's special enough to where like we could highlight it. We could put stuff like on the thumbnail. We'll talk about it. I sit here and make a completely like little video to interject every single time we mention it. It's our birthday. They're singing happy birthday. But otherwise, like, there's no real need to do anything about it. We're not sitting here rolling out like any red carpet, or I didn't get a keg, unfortunately.
He literally just forgot to do anything about it, and so did I. So that's why we're not doing anything special.
Sure, let's go with that. I'm turning 33 on 3/3. That's fantastic.
Hey,
I feel bad that you feel bad. Yeah. Thanks, Amber. Now that song's stuck in my head too.
Thank you, Amber.
Watching you do the Twitch stream, I was kind of thinking about contemplating, what if I just like, I have this old like NES Classic that's just loaded with like old school Nintendo games. What if I just did a Twitch channel with that? Like, how interesting would that be, just to see someone like me who's playing these old retro games from back when I was a kid. I'm not playing anything new. I'm not going to be playing the Fortnites or the Call of Duties or whatever. I said duties. 2 years old. Okay. Again, 2 years old. It's our birthday. Happy birthday. I really need that to just be a button I can quickly hit. But yeah, that would be kind of fun just because it also gives me an excuse to do another like overlay graphic stuff. That is what I've been enjoying lately. Like creating all the graphics and stuff. Hey, if you, anyone out there, if y'all are wanting to start a channel or something and you want graphics, hit me up. I'm enjoying playing with graphics. So
he's got time for it, along with creating a Twitch channel, wanting to go back to vlogging and running Cinefanatics and doing a normal job.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I can sit here and work on graphics while passing the time and stuff. So, plus, I like you've done this before too, where you have like just those cool, like chilled nights, throw on some music and like work on graphics or stuff like that. Like that's kind of relaxing. You don't do that?
Have a cool, chill night where I just work on graphics? No.
Mm-hmm. Oh,
in fact, I'm so behind on my graphics work that I'm really starting to worry about myself.
Oh, okay. Well, I love doing that. So, again, anyone has graphic work they want worked on, let me know. That'd be cool. Anyways, he makes great flower graphics. Yeah, I fixed those, Vernon. You need to go change it. Speaking of Vernon, after this stream tonight, I will be hopping over to Fans View. We are watching, is it Interview with a Vampire? I started watching it. I've never fully watched this movie. I think I started watching it and I got like 10 minutes into it, and then I can't remember if I got bored or if something else just popped up, whatever, and I had to go do something else, whatever. So we're gonna finish it. We're actually gonna watch it all the way through tonight. So yeah, that'll be here in about 2 hours roughly. So whatever time zone you're in, 2 hours from right now. If you're watching this on a replay, then just go to a Fans View YouTube channel and whatnot, and Vernon can put the link in the chat if he wants. Anyways, yeah. I think that is it for personal stuff. What have you watched anything new this past week? Oh, you watched something new for the first time last night. I'm eager to hear your thoughts on that one too.
I did.
I don't know if you want to fully share your thoughts on, like, say that movie last night, because I know you're going to be talking about it more this weekend, but
yeah, there's going to be 4 of us on the show, so I don't think I'm going to be able to fully like dive into all of my thoughts. But you will probably gain a little bit of inside information if I share right now as to where I'm probably going to want to rank this movie on our tier ranking that's going to happen this weekend. But I just watched Batman, the 1966 Batman, last night for the first time. And let me tell you, I get it. Different time, different Batman. Understood. As a movie now, for me, watching it for the first time, didn't do it for me.
It's so good. Like it's just the right amount of cheesy.
It's a lot of amount of cheesy.
Some days you just can't get rid of a bomb.
That sequence. So my problem with the movie is that there's like moments, and I get this might be just the time period and just the general tone of the film. There were sequences in that movie that lasted for like 10 minutes that should have been a minute and a half. And that's kind of hyperbole. They maybe lasted a minute and a half, and they probably should have been like 10 seconds. What I'm saying is there was a lot about that movie that just kind of dragged for me and was kind of like overstaying its welcome in a lot of ways, which is weird because I will say this, and I do want to give a positivity here. I do want to give a positivity because I feel like I'm going to be like over negative about an old movie that plays as a movie of its time period for sure. And the positivity is that all 4 of the villains, perfect casting, all 4 of them. All 4 of them.
How about the fact that it was like one of the first like superhero movies, and right out the gate they put 4 villains in it, and it actually worked.
Yeah, something that they haven't been able to do Since well,
or not very well, not
Some-
as good.
Spider-Man No Way Home was able to pull it off, but what I'm saying is that I actually like Cesar Romero as Joker.
His Joker though seems kind of like a side character. He's more of a
Yeah, it wasn't
like
a
another
main-
henchman rather than like an actual lead. That like Riddler seemed more like imposing than Joker did.
Well, I'm going to give you all the hot takes. Here's the hot takes you're going to get on the marquee. I like him better than Jack Nicholson's Joker.
Ooh,
I like his Joker better.
Even with the white mustache.
Yeah, I don't care. I don't care about that. his Joker felt more like the Joker to me than Jack Nicholson's Joker did.
Have you seen Cesar Romero in anything else?
I don't know.
He's always like everything else I've seen him in. He's always been like that prim, proper gentleman. Like to that point, that's the reason why you can still see he has the mustache on, because that's like his trademark, and he refused to shave it to play the Joker. So they always just put the white Joker makeup on over the mustache, which for the most part I feel like they hid pretty well. I think they hid his mustache better than they did Henry Cavill's mustache in Justice League.
Sadly, yes.
But yeah, he's always been like a nice, proper gentleman. So him playing Joker is just really weird because that's not what he typically does.
Yeah.
And so yeah, I think that's what helped for that is you just didn't believe it was Cesar Romero.
Yeah. But the rest of the villains also all good. Burgess Meredith, Frank Gorshin, Lee Merriweather.
Yep.
All of them, fantastic. Loved them all in those roles. Some
Lee
of them
Merriweather,
might be
one of three people to play Catwoman in the Batman series.
Yeah.
Or I think she just played Catwoman in the movie. I don't think she never played Catwoman in the actual TV show. The TV show was just Julie Newmar and Eartha Kitt.
Hey, thanks for everything. So yeah, that's the one I watched. Bunch of other movies I watched. They're all repeats. I know I watched 89 and Returns. I don't know if I mentioned those last week or when I watched them, but yeah, that was the only one I actually needed to watch for the marquee was 66. So I don't know if it's just like the time period I grew up in, because I think there's other people who were born the same year as me who really like older Batman movies and properties. But honestly, like there's a nostalgic love for Forever and Robin, and there's obviously a complete love and devotion for the Nolan trilogy.
Mm-hmm.
But anything before those, like Returns, I liked. It was fine. 89, okay. And then 66, all right, So maybe my Batman opinions are going to get me kicked off the internet at some point, but that's kind of where I'm sitting with it all.
So I think with yours comes from like, again, Batman is something that like almost everyone connects with as a kid. It's a superhero. It's a superhero who doesn't have powers. So therefore everyone can somewhat see themselves in that superhero. So therefore a lot of people connect with them, but it's a matter of when you connected with it. You, who was born in 89, obviously you didn't connect with Batman 89 or Batman Returns right off the bat because they were dark, they're noirish. Mom and dad probably wouldn't let you watch them.
I was the wrong age.
By the time that you understood who Batman was and you could like understand and follow and like, you were probably roughly around the Batman Forever time. So therefore, especially because they switched from that noir to all the bright colors, the Batman Forever and Robin and everything afterwards was probably more appealing to you. So,
and then of course this is
lobster thermidor.
Lobster thermidor. Microwaved lobster.
I will say, doesn't he put it in a microwave? Just
he does.
Gross.
Delicious.
Oh. So the only new movie I watched this past week was The King's Man on HBO Max. I like the other two. The original two were a lot more fun.
Hi, welcome to Cinefanatics. We hate movies here.
Yeah. No, I liked the original. The original one was good. Kingsman. Wait, I don't even know which one is which. The Kingsman.
Golden Circle is a sequel.
Yeah, Golden Circle is the sequel. The first one was what? Secret Society.
Kingsman: The Secret Service.
Or yeah, Kingsman: The Secret Service. Yeah, something like that. Movie trivia. But yeah, I liked the first one. I liked the most. The Golden Circle was okay. It had some like cool moments, but I think it was just a lot of rehashing what the first movie did, and just not as well.
Yeah.
But yeah, Batgirl went to Harvard for police. If you call me Batgirl, can I call you Batboy? No.
Love it.
But yeah, just I wasn't a huge fan of the Kingsman. So
yeah.
I think that's the only thing. Who said that?
I know. Yeah. I know. She wasn't a Jedi.
She wasn't a Jedi. She also didn't create Millennium Falcon. That would be Mimi Marquez in the movie, Miss Rosario Dawson, the night nurse, according to the Netflix Marvel shows, which those are coming to Disney Plus. I think did they say it was this month?
Pretty soon, yeah. I didn't see the specific date, but yeah, I saw that they announced that they are coming to Disney Plus.
Which is good because I still need to catch up on some of those. Maybe.
I still need to also, and I'm probably not going to.
At least the Daredevil. I've heard like I can't remember how far I got in Daredevil before I stopped watching it. I think I got like halfway through like season 2, and then I just moved on to go do something else.
I can't remember if I ever did watch season 3 of Daredevil. I might have. I know I never watched Punisher's season.
I started watching Punisher.
I never watched season 2 of Luke Cage. I don't think I ever watched. Was there season 2 of Iron Fist? I don't think I saw that.
I think there was.
And I stopped halfway through season 2 of Jessica Jones. So I did see season 1 of Jessica Jones and the other two. And then Defenders was kind of yeah. Defenders was bland. It was not great.
Anyways, I'm glad to see that they are coming back. I guess Marvel Feige has a hand in ushering them back into the MCU. So
are they going to revitalize them? Are they going to try to do something more with them?
Well, I mean, we know of at least 2 characters out of that entire Netflix series that have been brought back already. So we know those 2 will still be prominently.
It's going to be interesting though, because if they're all still 100% canon, then we know that Blade looks a little bit like what's his name from Luke Cage?
Yeah, Cottonmouth.
Yeah, that guy.
Yeah, that'll be funny. They're also bringing back, or they're moving Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. over to Disney Plus also. Which that one I remember I dropped off like after
Ghost Rider.
No, they went to outer space. They went to outer space and then they came back from space, and that was about where I fell off.
I think I dropped off somewhere after Ghost Rider.
Yeah, Ghost Rider was awesome. Like they did a really good job on Ghost Rider. The Robbie Reyes, Ghost Rider. Yeah, they did so well with that. But
anyways, what do we got? Since we're already kind of diving into some news topics.
Oh, do we want to fully dive into news? Let's dive into some news.
Ladies and gentlemen, good evening. This is what's happening in your world tonight.
We apologize for the interruption.
Back to you.
They're singing happy birthday.
I didn't click that.
I know, I did.
Wow. Anyways, by the way, again, any donations to streamlabs.com/cinefanatics will prompt a nice little happy birthday jingle there. So questions, comments, issues, complaints. There you go.
Take it up with management.
Yeah. How's the box office looking?
It's looking boxy and officey.
Very well said. Anyways, that's the show for tonight, y'all. Thanks for watching. Good night. Happy 2 years. Oh yeah, we didn't talk about Russia. Oh well.
Yes, that's fine. Who wants to? Anyway, so number 1 this week. Let's go through that top 10 because not much has changed. Only 8 and 9 have changed. So let's run through this top 10 real quick. Number 1 is still Uncharted. Number 2 is still Dog. Number 3, Spider-Man No Way Home. Number 4, Death on the Nile. Number 5, Jackass Forever. I just want to be clear. 1 through 5 right there are still the same exact 1 through 5 as last week. None of the top 5 have changed since last week. So
is it
keep that
bad
going
that
the
I'm
entire
acting
way.
like I'm running through this and I'm still getting worn out?
Yeah. I'm actually going to go slower if you got to keep that up.
I've just got to work on my pacing.
It's good for you. Number 6 is Sing 2. Number 7 is Marry Me. Those 2 flopped from last week. Not flopped, but they flipped. Flopping means something different for box office talk. Number 8 and number 9 are both new. Number 8 is that Studio 666 with the Dave Grohl and the Foo Fighters.
Oh, it made it
movie.
into the top 10? That's cool.
It hit number 8. And then number 9, unfortunately, I do still want to see it at some point, is Cyrano. That one, it's a shame that one's not a little bit higher, even though I haven't seen it yet and can't actually form that from an opinion of whether or not I like the movie or not. I just feel like that movie should be higher than Studio 666. Anyway, number 10 is Scream. That Scream is still in the box office in the top 10 here. So,
and I think Scream is available on like video on demand now. I think it's like available digitally to watch at home. So
there you go. Apparently, there's also a Godfather re-release.
There is.
It was at number 12. It made it to number 12. So
there's like a Godfather show or something coming out that's like a continuation. So I think they're re-releasing the movie in support of it. So,
yep. There you go. There's your box office. Not much has changed last week. A couple of new additions at the bottom of the list. Otherwise, we should expect a little bit different box office this next week, I believe, with this dark bat brooding guy making his way in.
Yeah. Gee, I wonder what's going to be number 1. What's going to be number 1 this weekend?
I will laugh if it's Spider-Man again.
That'll be funny. So let's move on to other movie news. Speaking of number 2s and okay, probably a bad segue right there.
Speaking of number 2s,
taking a poop.
2 years old.
Yay, we're okay. So y'all know we've been hearing for 30 years now or so that eventually at some point, maybe possibly Tim Burton will make a Beetlejuice 2. Now they've actually got production. Was it Brad Pitt's Plan B production studio is looking at producing this Beetlejuice sequel, in which both Michael Keaton and Winona Ryder have signed on and agreed to be in. We may actually get Beetlejuice 2, y'all. This may actually be happening. What are we doing?
I was reading Nerd's comment. Anyway, that's absolutely fascinating. I recently just watched this for the first time. I think this last October. So, I think it's really cool to see Keaton want to come back. He's doing like a tour de force right now of returning as his classic characters that he was, earlier in his career, with coming back as Batman in the Flash movie that's coming out, and then coming back as Beetlejuice here. So
I just want to see him come back as his character for Multiplicity. I need a Multiplicity sequel.
That would be a choice. That would definitely be a choice. I think what's cool here, though, is that because Beetlejuice is so heavily caked in makeup, you're not going to notice that Michael Keaton has aged since he last played Beetlejuice at all. Yeah. So
there's even in the original Beetlejuice, you really can't tell it's Michael Keaton for the most part, except for there's one thing he does where he's still in makeup, but he drops the faces that he makes, and he drops his voice, and he goes back into, well, yes, actually, he does that. he just drops into regular voice and regular movements and no facial dynamics at all. Otherwise, I think the same thing. You're going to have a hard time really telling the difference, and I can't wait to see him still break into that character again, like decades later. So, I'm very excited for this, and I'm really hoping it actually does happen.
Yeah.
Now, that being said, typically movies that have a sequel that come out decades later when we were all potentially asking for a sequel way back in the day, they don't typically do very well. Like Coming to America.
Ooh.
Or however you do it.
Coming to.
Wherever the squeaky whistle. Yeah, that thing.
Stop trying to take my thing.
I mean, I don't have that on a button. I need a button I can push that just does that in case you're not there to immediately like, oh yeah, I should make that sound.
What do you mean? You push my buttons all the time.
Good one. So here's the thing. I don't know if I have high hopes for it, but I would like to at least see it. I would like it to be made.
I would like to see it, please.
Jeremy Miller says he watched Roxanne last year. Didn't know Cyrano. Yeah, the Roxanne was based off of the Cyrano de Bergerac.
Roxanne,
you don't have to put on a red light. Yeah, I like the Roxanne movie, especially his scene in the bar when the guy's trying to make fun of his nose. That is such a classic scene.
Yeah. It's one of like the top tier scenes I would show people anytime that they're looking for like prove to me that Steve Martin is a professional comedian, is really good at comedy. Besides the fact that I would point them to just generally anything Steve Martin does, that scene in particular is on the top of the list.
Yeah, that or just the entire movie of The Jerk.
Exactly.
Yeah. Anyways, there's not really any other movie news that's prevalent right now, except for this next one here. Okay, so here's where this is gonna like dabble a little bit in political talk. I'm not really trying to comment too much about the politics, but we all know what's going on between Ukraine and Russia right now.
Let's go Ukraine.
Yeah, because of this, and I was reading more and more about this today. There's actually, this is kind of like in response. I believe Disney was the first major movie studio to say like, no, we will not be allowing our movies to release in Russia while this is going on. And I guess this is in response to a lot of other companies that are doing stuff like, I guess like Airbnb is no longer allowing listings for Russia, which, I mean, that one makes sense. Let's just say that in general. Hey, where do you want to go vacation? Let's go to Russia. No, that doesn't sound, yeah. So,
to be fair, that didn't sound fun before this whole situation broke out.
Y'all want to go try out like a vodka tasting tour or whatever?
Good joke.
Yeah. Well, so here's the thing. I'm trying to refrain from the very stereotypical like Russian joke that we do. In Soviet Russia, and you say the things backwards. I think most everyone has done that kind of joke at some point. Yeah. Although I did think of one that was pretty funny. In Soviet Russia, bat dress up as man. So, I don't know if that's really proper, but if it isn't, I apologize.
I hope you guys are enjoying the live stream. We're going to be deleting this stream as soon as we're done tonight.
Anyways, I mean, this is what happens when we talk about politics. Like, just this is fun.
We have to balance it out with this kind of talk because I'm a straight man, and that man's doing something for me right now.
I've seen people talk about him, and I have no idea what we're talking about. Like, is this? I need to look him up or something.
He's the president of Ukraine.
No, I know who he is. I haven't seen him. Okay.
It's the fact that he's like getting out and he's fighting and he's down there in the grime and the dirt with the soldiers and he's He's being a true leader. Unlike any president that we've had in the last however long it's been since we've had a president who fought in the military.
Yeah.
Honestly, like he's fighting like a true leader, like the president from Independence Day. There's a good movie connection there.
Okay. I understood that reference.
He's doing that kind of thing.
I just saw like a lot of people, I guess, were saying that he's like hot and sexy or whatever, and I was like, okay, I haven't seen what this guy looks like, so
maybe he's a good-looking guy, but I think it's more about the fact that he's just being an incredibly impressive leader right now.
Wait, is that true?
That would be hilarious.
That would be great. Okay, we do have to take a minute just to look that up real quick. He does have a filmography, so he is the voice of Paddington Bear in Paddington when it was released in Ukraine.
Good stuff.
That is awesome. That's great.
Yeah.
Anyways, so there's a lot of companies that are basically coming out saying that we're not going to be doing business with Russia in Russia. And he was on there Dancing with the Stars. That's a great president right there. I can understand like all the appeal then. Like to put yourself on there on something like that. That's cool too. He's a comedian.
Meanwhile, here in our country, we get Sean Spicer.
Oh.
Anyway.
So yeah, Disney was the first one to come out, the first movie studio to come out and block their releases, including, I guess they're even blocking the ones, and I think Netflix has done this also. They're blocking the ones that are available on their streaming platforms. So like, I think Netflix is blocking their entire streaming platform from being accessed in Russia, which if y'all seen any of those VPN commercials that play on YouTube channels, VPNs just got super popular in Russia right now.
Yeah.
So you've got like that. I guess they're blocking Disney Plus is blocking all of their streaming service or their releases over there as well.
And to note, all of this is these companies' little efforts that they have, that they can, to do something to put a little bit of hurt on the Russian economy.
That's what I was wondering. That's what I was wondering what this was.
Because there's definitely there are, like, if we're being clear about like everything that we're seeing on the news and everything, there's a ton of people in Russia right now who are like, yeah, we don't want this. We don't want to be invading Ukraine. Please stop. Please stop. And unfortunately, they're going to be the ones who suffer from these products and these services not being able to be accessed, which it is a very unfortunate situation. Welcome to war. This is where, you know, you look at the leadership of Russia and go, you guys are dumb, Putin. You guys are idiots. You're only going to cause pain and suffering to your own country. What terrible leadership. So that's, I think it's very interesting that you see like companies and movie studios and stuff kind of doing this kind of situation, doing this kind of thing in order to do what they're doing to kind of hurt the Russian economy a little bit and put some hurt on the country in any small way they can.
That's what I was wondering when I first saw this, like that Disney and Paramount, all these studios are blocking. I was like, okay, I get the like solidarity with all the other companies and stuff, but I really don't think Putin really gives a damn about like, oh, my people can't watch Turning Red on Disney Plus. Let's stop the war. No. I was like, it had to be something besides just that. So like you're saying that this is like an overall going to affect the economy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because I don't know like how big American films actually do over in Russia. I don't actually keep up with those numbers ever. Mm-hmm. But you'd have to expect that, you know, if in comparison to the Russian movie studio system, I assume there is one, there's probably more of a demand for like those American movies. I'm just guessing right now. I could be completely wrong on this, but I'm just saying that, you know, there's probably a high demand for American-made films, because I think there's like a high demand for those typically throughout the entire world in some degree or another. So I could see this, other companies putting a block on their products, these things hurting Russia's economy overall, especially over a little bit of time too.
Yeah. So Disney announced that they're not releasing their movies. Then it seemed like a lot of the other studios just seemed to be following suit. Paramount announced that they're blocking, at least for right now, they're blocking Sonic 2 from playing in Russia. Sony has announced that they're going to be blocking Morbius. And the big one that's actually really interesting, because it's this week, right now, Warner Brothers is blocking the Batman. So again, yeah, I like kind of like what I was just saying. I'm pretty sure that Putin really doesn't give a damn about movies playing or not, but I know that this is like just another thing that at least the people of Russia can complain about. Like, hey, I don't like that you're doing this. It's costing our livelihood. And sure, if it was just like movies, then maybe everyone would be like, well, just suck it up and deal with it. We're going to war and whatnot. It's little things, though. Like, all this is like, I'm almost certain, like, because of the sanctions and everything that have been imposed on the country, there's a lot of stuff like they can't get a lot of foreign trade right now as well. So they may be losing. I don't know what like imports and exports out of Russia, but for example, they may not be able to get like a lot of like general food that they rely on. If it's not food that's manufactured and grown in Russia, which is like what, ice cubes? I don't know. Like ice cubes and vodka. That's about it. But like, I don't know if they can get wheat products, for example. Can they, I don't know if they grow wheat in Russia. So like a lot of stuff like breads and like that may need to have their ingredients imported into Russia. They can't get that.
Yeah.
But they can't get sour cream and onion chips. Great. But this is just one more thing. Like, hey, we can't get bread. We can't get soda. We can't get proper meat or whatever that we want for our food. We can't watch movies. We can't get anything in. Russia's one of the largest exporters. Oh, well, you know what? Screw me. I don't know. Again, I don't talk politics, and that's why, because I don't keep up with stuff like that.
Or like world economy and what countries export and import things.
But, I mean, it's never been so proper to wear the I ass shirt than it is on a stream like this.
You know what? If you just make a movie out of Russia's exporting of wheat, then he'll know
then
about
I'll know. But yeah, so it's little things like that that are adding up that are gonna get a degree in political science. Well, that works. That is going to add to the mounting pressure on the economy, which then in turn affects the people of Russia, which would then in turn hopefully affect the president of Russia, or whatever his proper title is. I think it's president.
Maybe.
Yeah, President Vladimir Putin. Yeah.
His proper title right now is ass. So yes, that the word on your shirt. I mean, I wonder, like, I think if we're talking about politics, I mean, let's break it down here. You got the left side, you got the right side here in America. You got both sides of the spiel. Right side, well, not all the right side. I guess we call them the far right in this case. The ones who were like heavily Trump this, Trump that. A lot of them right now are going, Putin's doing the right thing or whatever. They're in support of something I don't think that they truly understand. I can hear all the people right now, stay in your lane, talk about movies. I'll get there. What I like here is that we see companies finally doing kind of putting their money where their mouths are. A lot of their mouths have been in the, support this cause, support that cause, and you get people saying the same thing, stay in your lane, just make movies. And then the movie studios are also going, yeah, well, you know what? When it comes down to it, when something's big and important like this, we can't support evil. We can't support wrongdoing. We can't support a country invading another country completely and totally unjustly like this. And I'm to whatever degree this does something, even if it's a small effect, I applaud it. I applaud that they are taking a stand going, no, if we're gonna be the big movie studios that we are, and we're gonna fly all over the world, shoot our movies all over the world, and put our movies out all over the world, we're also going to be movie studios that exist in the world and recognize when parts of the world are not acting right. So that's what I really like this. I really like that they're like, Russia, no, you don't get our movies. You're doing wrong. And that really sucks. I think that really sucks because, again, there's a large swath of people over in Russia who don't want this war to be happening either. They are denouncing pretty much everything that their leader is doing. And it's going to suck that they're going to be the ones largely affected by this in multiple ways, whether it's lack of entertainment, lack of products and services, lack of things like food and health products and stuff, because they need to import some of that stuff from other countries, and other countries just aren't, their businesses aren't going to support it anymore. It really sucks. It really, really sucks that people are going to suffer from this.
Instead of Fanatic's take on politics, it sucks. It really, really sucks.
Yes. Thank you for cutting the tension there. Appreciate
You're
it.
welcome.
The thing is, though, is that, I saw they were mentioning it in the chat as well. There are literally soldiers from Russia right now. They're crossing into Ukraine and going, yeah, we don't want to do this. And they're ditching their vehicles and they're going to hang out with the Ukrainians and like, yeah, we want to support you guys. We don't want to fight y'all. We don't want to do any of this. And there are literally Russian people in the Russian military who are just ditching their posts and going, nope, we refuse.
So they're just basically just going AWOL the second they cross over.
More or less.
Yeah.
I mean,
wow.
You hope that they don't, obviously we hope that they don't, get in trouble from their own country. But I love seeing, big stands of moral, whatever the words I'm looking for are, the big stand of a moral showing, which is, I refuse to fight. This is wrong. What have you. So, I support any effort right now that is, kind of going against the whole Russian regime, so to speak.
Yeah. So the one that I thought that was funny when reading about this originally was, I guess when it first started, that they invaded Ukraine and immediately went after Chernobyl. I was like, why?
Of all places.
I read this, and again, I know what Chernobyl is. I don't understand why the military wants to go after it. So if y'all want to, Amber, we may give me a minute. But I feel like that's the equivalent of someone trying to break into a Best Buy in the middle of the night to try to steal everything. And the second they get into the Best Buy, the first thing they do is they go into that dark back corner where all the home phones are sold. All right, well, let's go get all these, the home phones that no one ever uses.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't understand why they went after that. That's just funny.
Yeah.
Anyway, I don't know if I have really anything else to add to this.
Yeah, I mean, there's not too much more to add. I mean, the big important thing here is that we're seeing movie studios do what they need to be doing right now, which is, hey, we're not going to be releasing our movies over in your country while you guys are just unjustly supporting, false war. False war? Just a bad thing, not false war. Whatever. I'm like thinking of 8 different things at the same time. Anyway.
We're getting we start talking about politics, and apparently we get message and everything all over. Oh yeah. Okay. Yes, Amber. I saw your message on there before, but I was still planning on at least making that joke reference to the home phone section of Best Buy. I had already that one planned.
Anyways, guys, it's our 2-year anniversary on the tagline. We're 2 years old here. Russia. Bad. Ukraine. Good.
They're singing happy birthday.
I don't know. What else do we want to talk about?
Stall.
Well, yes, I am looking at doing something here. So yes, if you would like to vamp a little bit more. Anything else movie related we want to talk about real quick?
Movies, guys, they're a great form of escape. For a lot of us right now, it's good to escape from the goings on in the world and the what have yous and the whatnots. So, it's important for us to acknowledge the art. Again, I know we talked about this last week, but I'd like to see the Academy acknowledge some of these things in the upcoming Oscars. But they're not going to. They're not gonna air them. They're. This is carrying on conversation from last week. I'm still vamping, or do we need to keep going?
No, you actually are bringing up something that I did just read about. I think I read about it today, and it might be something that would be good to also talk about here.
Look at that.
Is apparently there's a lot of boycotts of the Oscars because of that.
Oh, fascinating.
Yeah, so a lot of people were saying that wasn't fair, or that's not ethically the good thing. Kind of like what we were saying before on it is that you need to figure out, you're wanting to remove those awards because they're not entertaining for the majority of people, but y'all need to find a way to keep them in there. Kind of like what I was saying is teach the audience what exactly is this award for. How do you explain cinematography? How do you explain production design?
Yeah.
And then that way the people know what they're looking at when they're watching the movies.
They're upset because they're dealing with an audience that they feel like doesn't care, but I think that it is the Academy of Motion Pictures, Arts and Sciences. It is almost part of their job description to teach the audience why they should care. And it comes down to either you don't air either you air all of them, or you don't air any of them, and you just do something different with the awards. I truly think that that's the way it should go. It's an absolute travesty that there's awards that they are not airing because they're worried about their ratings and how long people are watching for and all that. No, does not matter. Ratings do not matter. It's a once a year award show. Come on.
So, yeah, that might be interesting. How many jokes about Best Buy does Robert have stocked up? A lot, because
refrigerator full.
Yeah, a refrigerator full. Every time someone broke into my Best Buy overnight, they went for the computers. Yeah, that's what I was saying. They're just going straight for Chernobyl. Is the cordless home phones.
Yeah.
That and that's it. Is teach the audience, but 90% doesn't care. That's why I was saying teach them to where they do care. They do start to understand. Most people don't care about things that they just don't understand. For example, as we were seeing tonight, politics. It's not that I don't care. It's just I don't follow it because I don't understand a lot of those specifically. So it's not something I'm able to talk about, that I'm up to talking about. So a lot of times I want to read someone else who knows what they're talking about. I know movies. I like talking about movies. I understand like maybe the business and the politics of the studios, like in regards to like if the actors go on strike or something like that. I understand that, but I don't understand, say, necessarily the politics. So that's why typically if I'm going to talk about politics, again, I'd rather defer to someone who I know who knows about politics, especially if they may have like any kind of like political science degree or so. So that's why we do stuff like, I don't know, add a third person all of a sudden in the middle of our stream, and we bring in Miss Amber.
I love, first off, there's no E in my name. There's an E there.
Where?
Give him some slack. He did this literally in the last 2 seconds.
No, I was like, he's doing this like real fast. I literally walked through my living room. I was watching this on my living room TV and typing in the chat, and I was like, yeah. So there's a lot of interesting stuff going on. Like for example, I got to listen on NPR the other day and got to hear this entire diatribe by a Ukrainian woman who was really pissed off that her kids had left the guinea pigs with her. And I was like, this is what you're upset about. And she's like, this goddamn guinea pigs. And I'm like, oh my. But yeah, so Russian soldiers are driving into Ukraine and ditching vehicles on the side of the road, which is probably one of my favorite things I've ever heard.
Awesome.
They're just walking away. And I'm like, what are you guys doing? That's fantastic. Oh, and thank you, Tori. Yes, I really like it. I got it done today.
Yeah, I was going to say, can we highlight how well your hair is highlighted?
Thank you. I did it. It's a thing. No, it's wild. Vladimir Zelensky is like fighting alongside his people. Vladimir Putin is sitting in a giant boardroom with like a long ass table. Yeah, it's great. The war is pretty ridiculously interesting, and Russia is broadcasting all kinds of quote fake news. They're saying that everything the rest of the world is yes. Please highlight Tori's comment because that is absolutely true. Ukrainians are posting tutorials on how to drive abandoned Russian tankers on TikTok and on Facebook Live. They're using, like, I've never seen social media used so well to someone's advantage in terms of a war, because it's literally everybody just going wild and talking about how to shoot guns, how to drive vehicles, like, and these 19-year-old kids that just came out of high school are going into the military. They don't really care. They don't want to fight for Russia. They're forced to. And then they go out and they just abandon vehicles on the side of the road. I wonder what they do. Like, do you just walk away and defect in Ukraine? Like, do you suddenly become Ukrainian? Like, what happens here? Like, we would like to be part of this country now. Thank you. But okay, Robert. So what questions do you have?
The hell's going on? I don't understand this shit.
It's basically Vladimir Putin seems to believe that the Balkans and the entire Baltics belongs. Thank you. That's correct. There we go. That it belongs to Russia because the former Soviet Union was comprised of all of these nations, and Ukraine was one of them. A couple of years ago, I'm not sure what year they invaded Crimea, but that was the big argument that Crimea belonged to Russia. 2014. Thank you. I knew it was either 14 or 16. That it belonged to them, and it seems like it's just a power play. Just a big, and I'm going to say this, waving your dick in the air power play. He wants power. He wants to seem like the biggest power in the world, and with China slowly usurping that title in terms of finances and gross domestic product, Russia is slowly losing that. So to see another communist country usurp what is the largest landmass communist country in the world, rough situation for them. There's also the matter of the different ways that they're trying to invade the country. They're trying to get to Kiev. They came in and took Chernobyl, and nobody really kind of understood what was going on. But then I read this wonderful article about the fact that there's belief that nobody will bomb power plants. So you don't want to launch nuclear or even just regular bombs at a nuclear power plant, because guess what? You just started global nuclear winter. So they can hide silently in places like Chernobyl. And Chernobyl is actually very close to Kiev. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So it's the closest route between Belarus and Kiev. So they can hide there. They also tried to take, I think, 2 more plants on the southern side of the country. And I think thus far it's been defeated. It's failed. So.
Okay, because I knew Chernobyl was still kind of like a radioactive wasteland. Granted, it's been a while. that was what, like in the 80s, 86, I believe, is when Chernobyl blew.
I do believe you're correct.
But I don't know, like, how long is the radiation still active there? I know it. I've heard it is still active to this day, but not as bad as it was, like, say, for the first 10 years. Most of your nuclear fallout and stuff, especially like from Chernobyl, was actually like, if you can make it past like the first day or 2, you're probably fine for the most part, depending on how far away you were. Like, you had to be like about 20 miles out to really be safe, like 20 miles out and still going. But is it still feasible for people to be in that area? I know there's a lot of animals, like the whole area, the towns around Chernobyl are all like ghost towns that are like, buildings are pretty much made are living quarters for animals, wild animals in the area, but like people still can't live over there yet.
So there are towns nearby. Currently there's a radius around the area, and they had troops in the area. Obviously there's things about nuclear half-life and lots of actual science things that I do not understand, because that's not what I got my degree in. They sent me to college for politics. Harvard for police. Harvard for police. You call me Batgirl, can I call you Batboy? It's still like such a great line. But yeah, so essentially, like, a lot of the nuclear fallout moved north due to wind traffic into Belarus, and And as Tim Franco said in the chat, Chernobyl itself has a very small population. Pripyat, which is where the actual reactors were, is completely unlivable. There are people still in the area, but there's such high concentrations of nuclear radiation that anybody in the area generally ends up sick. Like
with cancer. Like, I know, like the ground is still radiated. You can't grow anything there. Just nothing is safe living conditions. So
and it's entirely a wild situation, because, given the size of Russia, given, mentally, if you're looking at this just map wise, you would think that this would be a very easy invasion, but no. I mean, these people are wild. They are coming unglued, and I love it. And it's very, very clear that, the stakes are not with the people on the actual, boots on the ground. So the stakes are not high for the Russian soldiers that are in Ukraine. The stakes are high for the leader of the government, and seemingly just him, since it's a rotating presidency. Like, it's him and his vice president that swap every 4 years or so. So, elections.
So do you have
wild?
Do you have anything else that we really haven't been able to mention about, like, what effect does movie studios blocking their movies from being shown, what effect does that have on, like, Russia, its economy, its people?
So I mean, obviously the box office is still relatively big no matter where you go. Movies are shown in places that it has an effect on the movie, like the studio's wallets. It has effects on consumers. It kind of at this moment remains to be seen, because a lot of this hasn't played out yet. The sanctions haven't really, we haven't seen the effects of the sanctions, but I'm very intrigued to see what's going to happen. And I kind of want to read up a little bit more on how it's going to affect both, like, our own domestic product, especially considering, we're looking at a world that has been primarily dependent on entertainment for the last 2 years, considering, we've been in the midst of a massive global pandemic. You have to have something to keep you mentally sane. Tori, yes, the ruble is worth nothing right now. It's absolutely crazy. Let's see. How will this falls in line with a lot of different sanctions. It's just the idea of how are different sanctions going to cripple Russia and how will they affect us? And yes, accept all, thank you. It's essentially with Crimea in 2014, there was a lot of ineffective actioning with sanctions and they didn't really work. They came off in a lot of cases illegitimate and things. But I think now we're going to see more because in 2014, the world was very divided on the invasion of Crimea and a lot of people didn't want to get involved. In this case, we're finally coming out of a Cold War zone, which in general, we refer to the Cold War as what we saw between Russia or the Soviet Union and the United States for those many years where, many things happened, including but not limited to the space race. But a Cold War is just a power struggle between two states or countries. So we're really looking at, we're sitting with not only an invasion, but also a generalized Cold War on Russia from the rest of the world. And everybody's, for the most part, united, if we're not talking about weird QAnon people who don't believe Australia is real. That's a legitimate thing. I just found out about that before I came in here.
Guys, the world is round.
The world is round.
Whoa. Let's not get fully canceled tonight, okay? I mean,
if you ask Taylor Robinson and Jacob London, I'm pretty sure their country's actually real. Essentially, money is worth nothing. As Tori said, people are not able to pay really for anything. Currency platforms have pulled out. We're looking at an effective sanction because it's a worldwide sanction. Up until now, even, and this doesn't necessarily answer the question, but it makes me wonder, especially in terms of global politics, because geopolitical stances are very interesting to me. The Geneva Convention has been relatively ineffective in terms of war and war crimes and punishment for said war crimes. I'm wondering how ineffective they're going to be this time.
So this is what I find interesting about this, and especially again, kind of going back what I was saying, that it's not just movie studios, it's other companies where, like I gave the example of Airbnb. These companies are a lot more socially networked in to how the world works now. We've never had any kind of a war or anything where we have been we've had the ability to tap into so much communication, so much knowledge. Social media wasn't a thing when we've been at war or had wars happen before. So the whole political viewpoint of how this could look nowadays is completely different and completely unprecedented because we have no experience. Like you were saying, like soldiers are being trained through TikTok on stuff. Like that's not something that existed before this. So it's really interesting to see how that's going to influence or what that's going to have in regards to this.
I mean, honestly, it's one of those chess games that we're going to have to see play out. Because in terms of sanctions, they've never really worked on Russia before in past conflicts. And Vladimir Putin is known for stockpiling and cutting off imports. So, I mean, he may be just fine with having media, blocked out of his country. However, I don't know how great his people are going to feel, and there are way more people than one man. And if the military is deserting, then that to me speaks higher to the overall umbrella of the problem, and it's not going to be sustainable for them. Most everybody has to play nice, or you have a problem. I mean, even China and the United States have to play nice. Yes, thank you, Dwayne. it was not designed to prevent wars. And yes, I fully understand that. I'm just kind of wondering if they're going to sanction him for any sort of general war crime, since there is an invasion. Because that is something that can happen, but I'm not sure, like, it hasn't, to my knowledge, happened. I love getting into political discussions.
Yeah. So I know Dwayne, like me, was also a member of the armed forces. And we were taught about the Geneva Conventions. Now, from my memory, because it's been quite a while since I was in the military, I do remember it highly really referring to how you are treated as like a prisoner of war, what they can and can't do to you. And then going back to what you were saying before is in some cases we have heard, I guess, rumors of the Geneva Conventions just being like thrown out the window. Like, who cares? We're going to torture you. Like, we can waterboard you for information. Like, all of that stuff is just like completely out the window now.
Well, and when I covered it, because one of my specialties was international and maritime law, and one of the worst truths about the Geneva Convention is that because of that, it's nigh ineffective, because there's no governing body that can truly govern the world. And if a state decides that they're going to defy the Geneva Convention, who holds them accountable? So that's the problem. The convention, like, unless more states go to or get involved in the conflict, there's no real way to hold them accountable. It's just a bunch of people saying, this is what you did. This is what you did. Bad. Boo. So it doesn't necessarily stick unless it is a valid conflict. This is not a valid conflict.
Basically a bunch of countries saying, okay, we agree not to do these things. We agree.
Yeah.
I changed my mind.
Yeah, and the unfortunate part is that most of the time when countries are held accountable, it tends to be another major world power holding them accountable. Well, the other communist country next door is not probably going to hold them accountable. They've been generally staying neutral, and I believe that they abstained from a vote in the UN. But at present, it's. I mean, I don't think we're going to be able to do anything at the moment. But I think Ukraine's holding it down pretty well themselves.
Yeah. There was two things I liked about this. One is China was like, nah, we're going to go ahead and we're not going to be a part of this. Just leave us out. We don't want to be part of this. And then Switzerland was like, hey, you know what? Russia sucks. We're going to have an opinion this time.
Remember how Switzerland's always neutral?
Yeah,
not this time.
Switzerland never has an opinion about anything. So
you know it's bad if Switzerland's getting in and having an opinion on something.
No, it's just a very, very interesting thing, and who knows what's going to happen with sanctions, because we haven't seen this. This is a struggle that we've never seen. Just like we hadn't seen a pandemic in our entire life, like in our lifetimes. So now we're looking at what could have been World War III, and it looks like the correct countries are abstaining from this and moving away from it. So it just looks like an awkward semi-bald man throwing a tantrum.
That's what it feels like.
I also want to highlight, I don't know if you did it anywhere else, but I know I saw you like it was about a week ago when this like first was really starting to hit. You put a post up, I think it was at least on your Facebook, like how to explain what's going on for people who just don't know. I was like, this was phenomenal. Like
the breakup post.
The breakup post,
Yes.
That was so good. I don't know if you posted that anywhere else, but that was so funny. Like I was like, I understand this. I get what's happening here.
This reaches my primitive brain.
Hey,
I'm actually looking for it now. I'm like, okay, I didn't post much. Yep, there it is. 5 days ago. Someone asked if the Ukraine war could be explained to them in a way they could understand, and this was the response given. The Ukraine and Russia crisis in simple terms for those that have no idea what is going on. Ukraine used to be an abusive relationship with Russia, feeding him, letting him use her car, giving him whatever he asked for until she built up the confidence to call it quits back in 1991. Since then, Ukraine has been working on herself, becoming a strong, independent woman with help from friends like France, America, Poland, etc., offering her support, loaning her money, and helping her find her way. Ukraine has been enjoying being single for 30 years and looking forward to continuing to grow and create new friendships. A couple of weeks ago, Russia started sitting in front of Ukraine's house, and when her friends ask him what he's doing there, he says, "Oh, nothing, just getting a little bit of exercise in, that's all." After friends tell her that Russia's potentially getting ready to do something bad to her, he said, "They're lying. They just want you to be scared of me, and that's not what it is." But yesterday, Russia broke into Ukraine's house, beat her up, took advantage of her while on live stream, and double dog dared any of her friends to do something about it. And if they do want the smoke, Russia got that thing on them. Didn't write it, but found it on the internet, and it's absolutely beautiful. Thank you. It's a dramatic interpretation. So yeah, that's how to sum up the Russia-Ukraine conflict in a speech.
So, guys, I put in the chat here. If every single person will click on this link and go subscribe, that is to Ember Productions. That would be the YouTube channel of Amber and someone else, and of Amber and Maxwell. That is their combined channel that they are starting. They're going to grow, and if you like her thoughts, feelings, opinions, and how she conducts herself, and both on here and on in any other places on the internet, please go subscribe and go do that.
Show them their support.
Takara Kanashi on social media. Yeah. That Taco Kara Kanashi or
Taco
teriyaki chicken.
Teriyaki chicken taco Kanashi. Taco
that. Listen, I'm just really sad that Lola wasn't here throughout this entire show because I really, really just needed that sweet, sweet Lola energy.
Mm-hmm. Don't we all? Hey, don't be grabbing my kitty.
That's what she said. That'll
be our first T-shirt. Cinefanatics. Don't be
grabbing my kitty. I love it. I love it so much. Yeah, thanks for listening to me wax on about things that are absolutely not interesting whatsoever, and me pretending that I know something.
She's like, why the hell is he holding me? He never holds me.
Lola's like, I was laying on my pillow.
She was.
And now I'm on the bed, and I don't know why. I better be getting some treats out of this, damn it.
I have white cat fur all over my black shirt.
That's why I didn't pick her up.
I have Kai fur everywhere because I literally took her into the backyard and held her, and she just looked around, kind of half meowing at everything this episode. So that happened.
I love how Lola's just sitting here like, what the hell happened? What?
Thanks for dropping me off, Uncle Chris. Well,
she's literally like,
all right, back to where I was.
Bye. I'm gonna go back to my pillow. Okay, bye. Well, thank you so much for having me on for that 40 seconds. That was really a little bit longer. I'm glad I could explain something that is a thing.
Mm-hmm.
It's a thing.
Yeah, it's a thing. If we find out more about how sanctions are affecting them and how it's affecting the global box office, I'll let you know.
So this is Amber, our political correspondent. Cinefanatics. In case we ever talk about politics again, we will be needing Amber.
Because we are more.
I know other things too. I know about some other things, maybe theme parks and theme parks.
There's a theme park correspondent as well.
Our theme park correspondent.
Hey, men. Get you a woman who can do both.
Hey, Tori, can I be the
frog correspondent?
Beautiful. I love it. Well, guys, I'm going to bid you adieu. It was fun. Have a good night, guys. I will speak at you all later. Speak at you. It's like a new Pokemon. And on that note, oops.
Good night. Anyways, so that does it for our political conversation. And oh yeah, by the way, happy 2-year birthday to this tagline.
Happy birthday.
I just feel like after all of that politics talk, we need to kind of recenter ourselves. Like, hey, we're a movie channel. We're here to talk about movies. But yeah, the reason I feel like that I really wanted to dive a little bit more into this is one, there's no other movie news. There was box office numbers, Beetlejuice 2, maybe this thing about people boycotting the Oscars and
world conflict.
Yeah, and world conflict. That's it. That's all there is to talk about. So we might as well talk about world conflict. I mean, I didn't want to spend like the last 30 minutes talking about how Kim Kardashian is officially single and dropped the name West off of her last name. So who cares?
Get it, girl.
Moving on. Yes, we did start right before the pandemic. Our very first episode was March 3rd of 2020. In fact, I'm trying to see if I don't have it available here. I don't think. Let me see if I can grab this real quick.
Let's roll down memory lane real quick before we call it a night.
Yeah, and I don't have this
From 2020.
Yeah, I don't have it saved on here. So, not a big deal. I was gonna post up like at least the thumbnail, but I'm pretty sure y'all can see the thumbnail for. Yeah, I'm not pulling it up. Okay, giant pain in the ass. Anyways, so I think that's gonna do it for tonight. Nice, good talk, good discussion here. Please join us next week. We probably won't be talking politics. One thing I do want to start plugging, though, is starting next week. As you may have noticed, as you can see down below, the title of this video is the Tagline number 90. This is our 90th episode of the Tagline. I know some of y'all may be like trying to calculate the math on that and try to figure out how we've been going for 2 years and we're not already like past 100 episodes. Easy. We haven't done this every week. So
a couple weeks off here and there.
So starting next week, we are counting down to the 100th Tagline episode. We'll probably do something special for that because I'm actually remembering that this is coming down the pike. Nice call back to the beginning of the episode. Yeah. So we will probably be doing something special for that, the 100th episode. Possibly guests, maybe some fun,
maybe
games.
Some fun.
I don't know. We really haven't talked about. I hadn't even discussed this with him yet. I just now realized it. And
he's making the hard sell. There's maybe going to be fun there, guys.
There's maybe going to be fun.
Tune in to find out.
Yeah. Anyways, stay tuned for that. Episode number 100 is coming, but we are starting the countdown to 100. Otherwise, other things we have going on this weekend are, well, let's backtrack. Tomorrow, we will be going to see The Batman, so stay tuned to all of our social media and the Cinefanatics channel. We'll probably post up a 2-minute long, spoiler-free, immediately out of the theater review for The Batman. And then over the course of the next week or so, we'll probably either do like a spoiler video, or we'll just talk about spoilers on Tagline next week. So one of those two things will happen. Otherwise, in celebration for Batman coming out this weekend, this Saturday, we will be doing The Marquee. We are going to be tier ranking all of the theatrically released Batman movies, not including The Killing Joke, because that was a Fathom event, so we're just not including that. Also not including Justice League, because it really wasn't Batman-centric focused. So anything else of Batman in the theater pretty much will be on here. So that will be with our special guests, Miss Tori Rose and Andres Gallego. So that is this Saturday at 7:30 Pacific, 10:30 Eastern, right here. Yes, Tori, that would be you. Anyways, that's what we've got going on coming up. Otherwise, make sure you follow Cinefanatics on this channel. Like, comment, subscribe. Follow us on Twitter, Instagram at Cinefanatics MLP. There is myself, Robert Adams MLP, Twitter, Instagram, and Letterboxd. And then Chris, I believe he's got things you can follow too.
Yes, I'm at Chris Adams MLP on Twitter, Instagram, and Letterboxd, as well as twitch.tv/Chris Adams MLP, where you can find me twitching all day, every day, almost. It feels like every day, nearly. We're doing all sorts of fun stuff over there. Going to be looking into a lot of community game nights and stuff. So those are coming up here pretty soon. Family game nights on Sundays are going to be a thing. So stay tuned for a lot of big plans and things happening over there. So,
yeah. Anyways, that's going to do it for tonight. Thank y'all for coming by. Thank y'all, everyone who wished us a happy birthday.
They're singing happy birthday
Had to do it again, y'all. We appreciate everyone who's helped grow this show over the past 2 years. Look forward to at least another year of this. I mean, I feel like as we are slowly getting out of like the pandemic, hopefully, maybe, possibly, I don't know. The show should grow, and we'll have a lot more news, and it won't be all like the same thing. Movies getting pushed back, and this, that, and the other because of the pandemic. Hopefully, we see more of stuff like that. Anyways, that's going to do it for tonight. So thank y'all for watching. Thank y'all for being here again. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe, and we will see all of y'all next week. Or on the marquee on Saturday. Something like that.
Yes.
Anyways.